happening, guys? This is Butcher, and this is a video on hook spots with Pudge. So I'm gonna go over a series of short clips going over the different positions from where you can hook from as Pudge, and most of it is going to be using the map to your advantage, using the fog of war to your advantage, the high ground low ground to your advantage, and just general plays. Another concept you can gank with is hooking people under the tower if you have a stun on your team. So here the DK is banished, so we know the banish is on cooldown. The DK used the opportunity to stun the OD, and then I hook him under the tower. They obviously didn't have vision high ground, and if you hook the opponent under the tower, even heroes like OD with great escape they can't really run away. So to be good at Pudge, you need to be extremely comfortable hooking right after blinking offensively. I'm not saying to do it every single time, but when people are running away and you have the perfect opportunity, that's when you blink hook. And the opponents are not even defending Bounty Hunter because he's so out of position here. A lot of times you can catch your opponents off guard with a blink into a hook because they're focusing on creeps. So there the Bounty Hunter didn't have too much time to react to the hook, so if you get really good at blinking and then hooking instantly with accuracy, then you'll get a lot of free kills when the opponents are just kind of focusing on creeps and they have half a second to react to the Pudge hook. So when defending high ground, you want to be on either side of the tower and basically hook people as they come up. So the DK is now taking the tower, and before the opponent team can do anything, we bring him down. So when you're defending, you want to be on either side, and if you can hook people before the creeps get there, it's better, because then the opponent is forced to kind of fight under your own tower, and the tower is going to be attacking them while there's no creeps. Another strategy you can use to hook people is to go for them after the creep dies. So I know he's going to go for this range creep, and you have to throw out the hook before the creep dies in anticipation of the opponent killing it, because if you throw it out after the creep dies, there's a good chance the opponent will move to the side or change their position. So you have to hook like half a second before the creep dies, anticipating their auto attack. Alright, so if you're on Radiant and you're ganking mid, this part here is the perfect spot to hook from, because there's no vision here, like it's a little fort of trees, and if you hook, then the tower is going to attack the enemy, so a lot of times you're going to sit here. I don't have an opportunity, like they're not going forward, so I'm kind of not hooking. They are going on my SF, so it's pretty easy to predict when to hook if the snowball goes like that, because you know the target. So I instantly kill the Tuskar, and then we follow the line TP's out. We don't have a stun, and here we see the Queen of Pain is kind of in a bad spot. The blink cooldown is really long on the Queen of Pain, so now I kind of make the shorter distance and I cut the Queen of Pain off and we get the kill. But the bigger lesson is this little fort of trees. You're always going to be there, and especially early levels when you're ganking, like before your level 6 as support Pudge, a lot of times the people will be laning here, and you just you can even TP here because the opponent's not going to see you or hear you. You TP here and you just kind of wait, and then you have the perfect opportunity to sneak up on your opponent and surprise them with a hook under the tower. Alright, so I'm ganking mid in a different replay, but now I'm coming from the other side. I'm still in the Dire, and I'm hiding in this spot over here. So if the opponent had a ward over here, then the Evoker will go back, and I know that there's a ward here because there's no other ward spot that would see me from here. The Invoker can't see me because his line of vision is like this, so this is the fog of war for him. I'm waiting for the Invoker to kind of get a little bit away from his tower so I can just walk up to him. I do have brown boots, it's 2 minutes in, so my movement speed is decent, but it's better to be patient than to just go for it because I'm level 1 and I have to the Queen of Pain has to blink and dagger the Invoker. This is a very simple play, but a lot of people just get too impatient. They just go like right now, and then you tank a tower hit and things can go wrong. But here I just kind of wait for the Invoker to go down to the river, and now this is a very easy kill because he was too far from his tower, so now I kind of cut him off. Alright, so in this clip, ganking bottom, and this shows that you don't have to initiate every single gank with a hook. So I see that they're kind of diving the Doom, and the tower is attacking Clockwork, so I'm going to focus Clockwork first because he's lower HP. I don't even need to hook. Alright, so I go back because if I just man fight him over here, I'm gonna lose the fight. SF has a lot more damage than me, and even though I have level 2 hook, it's not really great. He doesn't have any raises, so he can't really kill me right now, so running away is fine. But as soon as I get close to the tower, then if he chases me, then I hook him back. Alright, so now that the tower hit, I didn't rot, as you can see, the last hit. So like I was rotting, and then when I saw that I only had 46 HP, if I would have kept rotting, I would have just suicided, or the creeps would have killed me. So I stopped rotting when I saw the SF was down to a single last hit, and then I got the kill, and now I barely get away. Yeah, so I live with 3 HP, but that's because I stopped rotting when I saw the SF was 1 hit away. And you have to kind of judge it like based on you know, if you're gonna die or not. If you think you're gonna die, like you're not gonna make the team fight, I mean you're not gonna make the HP, then just suicide, like keep rotting, and then you have a chance of suiciding, and that denies golden experience. But if you're in that situation there, the SF is really low, and if he's 1 hit away, because you do pretty high base damage, you might have a chance to live like this. Alright, so this time I'm Radiant and I'm ganking mid, and you can go from either side, like you can go from this side or you can go from this side. But because the tower range has been changed to where it's more difficult to come from the bottom side, the top is usually easier. The problem with the going from the top is that there's usually a ward mid, and if there's a ward mid, there's no way you're gonna like go from here to here without the mid hero noticing. But here it's nighttime, and you definitely want to gank during nighttime. And I'm waiting, and now the Zeus is completely out of range from his tower, and I'm cutting him off. Preferably, you want to body block them. That time I couldn't body block. They have a really good reaction. We still get the Zeus, and I suicide. So they're diving the Tinker. Tinker's extremely low. I'm back up in 3 seconds. So the Brew is diving the Tinker, and the reason I TP'd over here and not closer to the Tinker is because there's 2 scenarios. Like the Brew can keep diving the Tinker, or he can try to back out and either run this way or run this way. So if I TP to the Tinker, then the Brewmaster can just start walking away this direction or that direction, and by the time I TP, I'm going to be really far away from him because I TP'd over here. But because I TP over here, he can't really run anywhere, so if he wants to escape, he's going to have to run down towards the trees over here, and then it's like that's unlikely to happen. Like the people are usually going to run back towards their tower, or they're just going to keep diving. So that's the reason why I TP'd over there, to kind of cut him off if he was trying to make a run for it. The Tinker lives anyway, it's really close, but that's the reasoning behind it. When the opponents are pushing mid, this is probably one of the best spots to hook from after your hook is max range. Anytime you hook people early game over a ridge, like a hard terrain that it's difficult to pass, a lot of times the enemy is not going to be there in time to help their teammate that's been hooked. So this is the perfect spot. They're probably going to be hitting the tower. Most of the time they're going to be very stationary, and it's a perfect opportunity to hook. I'm going for OD because that's the highest priority kill in their team, the mid player. Alright, so to finish out this video, the point that I'm trying to make with all of these examples is you need to be in the trees, you need to be out of vision and kind of hiding, and you need to be like a little bit closer to your side of the map and hooking people out of position, right? You can use the blink to aggressively hook allies that are running away. I mean, it is an aggressive play. A lot of times you will blink and hook and miss, and then things can go sour. But if people are running away, then that's the perfect time to blink hook because you can cover a lot of distance. Also, you can hook people when they're focusing on creeps. That's when people are usually most stationary. If you can use wards, so if you put a bunch of aggressive wards and then you can hook people through the river, you can hook people during nighttime is great because they have much less vision. So all of these things you need to use as a Pudge to give yourself an edge to land as many hooks as possible during a game.